Hello everyone and welcome back. It is time to continue our story. So we eventually get out of prison and we find our way to the armory of the castle that we're in. At this point, Luke takes great relish in describing all the magical armor in front of us. Unguarded. Oh, and the guns. Yeah, guns! In 3.5, he homebrewed them. 1d12 plus dex damage, 17 to 20, times 3 crit. And the gunpowder. Doing what any sensible group of players would do in this situation, we took 3 guns each and tried to take the armor. You can't. It don't move off the stand. That's not a problem. I have 20 strength. We'll just take it with us. So we set light to a trail of gunpowder and ran like buggery whilst the castle exploded. Cue a huge weepy scene from the DMPC that it won't be enough to stop the big bad evil guy's army of thousands who reside in the castle. The one we just blew up, with them in it, for the record. From assaulting us in the morning, we get whisked away to a tree village full of elves who sing and frolic while they try and get the guns off of us. Yeah, no fucking dice. We threaten to shoot any elf who tries. For once, they get the message. However, in the morning, the armor has miraculously disappeared. The army is also attacking, so we rush down to see if we can help. As it turns out, the army is attacking in groups of 3, and the elves are not around at all. So we lay into the army of 3, defeating it easily with our guns of destruction. And then another group of 3, and another, and another. For an hour. As we're getting really fucking bored, the big bad evil guy turns up, along with a good 20 of his minions who surround us. And you won't be able to kill him, because he's the level 30 wizard in full plate. Sickly grin at everyone, because he's obviously the greatest DM alive and deserves praise. That's fine. I'll shoot him then, fuck it. Rolls a 20, then a 20, then a fucking 20. Haha, instant death. Alright, you shoot at him, and before the bullet hits and he teleports away, shouting curses. His army breaks and runs. But wait, if we killed all those soldiers and then him, doesn't that mean we get experience from this encounter? Yeah. Player 2 is now frantically thumbing through a DMG. Let's see, that's X groups of level 5 soldiers, and then 130 wizard. That's enough to make us level 17. Oh god, what? Player 3 has fallen out of their chair. At this point, y'all wake up in the throne room, and the wizards, they're laughing at you. And that's why you must never be set free, and he laughs for disappearing. You're in the force cage in the throne room, but there's a woman in the room that you recognize. Wait, no, whatever. At this point, one of our friends, who I shall name Nerdia, he'll understand why, walked into the room. I, being player 1, promptly ripped my sheet in half and offered him the bottom half. He graciously accepted and roleplayed the combat legs of my character while I took charge of the skills torso. The game was called 10 minutes later when we had yet another fucking dream sequence. Here endeth case study 2. Skipping forward about a year, we moved out of the halls and into rented accommodation. Due to British politeness and general apathy, Luke has managed to follow us into a house, shared with Nerdia and myself. Of course, he demands the biggest room on account of, something or other. I think the excuse this time was that he had once been a pro motocross racer, but fallen off and broken his spine in 4 places, but it's okay, he got better. This was when, deprived of his weekly visits home, we began to appreciate the true strangeness of Luke. As in, we never found evidence that he ever used the bathroom. As days turned into weeks, we found, increasingly, that the windows had to be left open 24/7. At one point, as the weeks turned into a month, we noticed a moss-like substance had actually started to grow on the one shirt that he had been wearing for the duration. His wealth was having a profound impact here as well, as the house began to fill with half-eaten sandwiches, discarded chocolate bars, and Luke's fucking cup, which he always drank orange juice out of. It had not been cleaned since the first night I met him. I am not fucking kidding. This thing was the holy grail of fucking disease. He drank everything out of that cup. Squash, water, wine, beer, tea, you name it. Finally, after an extensive bout of rodent hunting and disposal and cleanup of the living space, we decided to actually do something about it. We broached the subject carefully at one of our mass gatherings of a card gaming nature. Deck status. Most decks are fine after being hidden. Luke had decided to use a Golgari deck that I left on my desk, and it was rendered completely unshuffleable. Lost about 30 pounds of rare in that one due to cards sticking together to produce Vulturous Overgrown Putrefy. We started the discussion with a simple question. At what time do you guys have to get up to be ready for school in the morning? Well, I normally get up like an hour before the lesson. Crap. We live 20 minutes away by bike. And then I brush my teeth. Yeah, this got a laugh from everybody around. And then I shower if I need to. Huge shit-eating grin caused most of us to lean back. Nerdia. Luke, you smell like a mixture of crap and cum. There is moss growing on your shirt. Get a fucking shower, man. Clean yourself up. He didn't really know how to take that. He mumbled an excuse and he left the room and spent the next week playing Linkin Park really loudly so we couldn't sleep. This brings me to the end of the first year of my Luke experience. But there are more tales. Oh, there are more. Case Study 3. Being a study of that guy participating in Call of Cthulhu. So not long after the episode, most of us got into Lovecraftian horror in a really big way. It was only natural that Nerdy end up running a COC campaign. He's stupidly good at horror and suspense when it comes to games. So with me as a bystander, as COC really isn't my thing, and I digress too much to be helpful to a good atmosphere. The game was set to begin with a pre-made module, The Fall of Paradise, or something similar. I highly encourage you to get a copy of Carmina Burana and play through it, for the record. Anyway, the game starts with the exploration of a haunted house. The game progresses smoothly, with a little sanity loss and Luke not saying much. The room is bearable despite the balmy evening. Luke has recently returned from a weekend parent visit. He has been hosed down and his clothes have been replaced. He only smells mildly. The party returns to its homes at night. I'm not going to spoil the plot for you, just in case you want to play. And Luke's character, having seen a particular painting, starts to have a vision. You wake up, seemingly unable to move. There are a group of monks wearing dark robes and white, plain masks at the foot of your bed. They start to approach you, silently. Oh, okay. What? I mean, is that how your character reacts? Yeah, this happens all the time. Huge, cocky, shit-eating grin. We note that he seems to have escaped without having his teeth looked at. And the gums are starting to turn black. That's where we have to end this episode for now. Thank you all for watching, and if you're enjoying this and would like to send in your own stories, you can do that by going to r/Moonhorse Stories and sending it there. If you would like to keep the lights on this place so we can keep reading shit like this, you can do that by donating to my Patreon or buying stuff from the merch store. The links to all that and more are down below, and I'll see you in the next episode, where things get even fucking weirder.